Hi, Courtney here. I am doing my update. I have a diagnosis. I saw my functional chiropractor. That appointment went so good, and I'm just going to explain to you guys exactly what he found and how we're going to treat it. So, pretty much, I saw him for 3 hours last Tuesday, and he did a lot of different in-depth tests on different parts of my body, and he discovered that a lot of things are wrong with me. So I'll only point out the really important stuff because all the other stuff's kind of boring and hard for me to explain. So pretty much the biggest thing that he discovered is that I have POTS. And POTS is a condition where your blood does not flow throughout your body the way it's supposed to. Your brain, everybody's brain should know what to do with your blood. I mean, it should be like a reflex. It should just be instant. Your brain should know what to do, and people with POTS don't have that connection in their brain to know what to do with their own blood. So it causes a lot of issues. This is my cat, Nala. So back to the POTS. It causes a lot of issues. This is something I was most likely born with, or it came after my heart disease that I dealt with back in 2012. I had Wolff-White Parkinson syndrome, and that got ablated. So it could have came after my heart surgery, or I could have been born with it. We don't really know which one, but I've had it for a really long time. And it was nice to put a diagnosis to the issues that I've been feeling with my heart, because every time I would stand up, I would get sick, I would get dizzy, I would need to sit right back down because I thought I was going to pass out, and I couldn't go up a flight of stairs. I'm 20 years old, and there's a lot that I couldn't do. So this doctor saw my vitals, and he was like, holy cow, like, you definitely have POTS. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense. I've had cardiologists in the past mention that. They were like, yeah, you could have POTS, but then left it at that and didn't do anything for me. So I was never diagnosed with it until now. So pretty much, I'll try to explain it the best I can. So you don't have enough blood in your body to be everywhere at once. It's not like that. So, when you stand up, blood should go, your brain should say, hey, she's standing up, let's send blood down to her legs. And it should only really go down to the legs. Sometimes for POTS people, it may not even go down to the legs, or when it does, it also shoots up to a whole bunch of other different places, and pretty much the body's freaking out, like, oh my god, she's standing up, what do we do? And I've noticed for me, it feels like instantly feels like the blood just kind of drops. So that explains my lightheadedness, and it explains my seizures, because he said every single time I have a seizure, that means there is not enough blood circulating through my brain. And that makes so much sense, and it was so nice to have a doctor finally say, this is what's causing your seizures, and this is how we're going to fix it. So hearing that I have POTS, I guess hearing that I had all of these different conditions was kind of upsetting, because I'm 20 and, pretty much I just have a crappy body. But it was also really nice to finally have a diagnosis as to why I'm having seizures, and that we have a plan to fix it. So his plan is that I'm going to see him 3 days a week, 3 different times, 30-minute sessions, and we're going to do very intense physical therapy and rehab. But we're going to start really, really small. He has to keep a heart monitor on me at all times, just to make sure that, if he has me raise my arm, he wants to make sure that my heart rate doesn't shoot up. And I have POTS pretty bad, so we might have to start really small. He did say that, everything that we do in the first week, I'll be laying down. So I'll be doing different physical therapy stuff laying down. Don't quite know what it's going to be yet, but he'll give me things that I have to do at home too. And pretty much I am just retraining my brain to send blood to the places that I need it to go. So that way blood will stay in my brain, stay in the important areas, but also go to the areas that I'm using at that time. So I am very restricted on the things that I can do. If I'm sitting down and watching a movie, I need to stand up at least every 5 minutes just to keep the blood circulating, or else the the blood will kind of just stay in one spot, and I'll get lightheaded, I'll get confused, and I'll have a seizure. So I can't sit for too long, I can't stand for too long, I can't eat a lot. I have to avoid being out in the heat. And the bad thing about POTS is that it can cause you to get pretty hot because the blood may flood throughout your body really fast, and I instantly get hot. So the main thing is POTS. He also found out that my body is constantly running adrenaline. So pretty much my brain is constantly in fight or flight mode. It explains why my pupils are so gigantic all the time, and this is something that my mom has noticed, and she told doctors, like, her pupils are huge, they never used to be like this, like, she's not even in any light, they should be small, and they just kind of brushed it off and didn't really say anything about it, but this doctor said that it is not normal for my pupils to be this big, and that means that my brain is constantly scared. Even if I'm relaxed, my brain is terrified. And so I'm running adrenaline through me, kind of like how when I was at Six Flags when all of this kind of started. I'm riding roller coasters and stuff, and I have adrenaline pumping through me, and it's almost like that never left. That adrenaline of excitement, or being scared, it never left, and it is constantly running through me, which causes hot flashes, causes my heart rate to increase. Even laying down sleeping, I get hot really fast, and I'll check and my pupils are huge, and I'm like, okay, this is just weird. So we have an explanation for that, and once we get POTS under control, my brain should calm down. I'm not scared of I'm not scared, I'm not stressed out or anything, but my brain is, because my body could go into a seizure any minute, and I think my brain just tries to prepare for that at all times, which causes my pupils to be big, which means more light's absorbing into my eyes, and bright lights cause me to have seizures. So it's just kind of like an endless cycle of things. So pretty much my left eye is way worse than my right eye, so I actually had to go get an eye patch. And if I'm going to be out in the sun or be out anywhere where it's really bright, I will cover up my left eye, and I should be okay. I haven't done it yet because, I don't really want to wear an eye patch, but I'll do what I have to avoid having a seizure. So there were a few other things wrong with my bones. My joints don't move the way that it needs to. When I breathe, my rib cage does not expand like it needs to. And so pretty much he said most of this could be genetic, and that I was just born with a lot of these things. There was nothing I can do to avoid it, but he's going to try everything he can to fix what's fixable. POTS is chronic, so I'll never be able to get rid of it, but I can try to control it without just medication. I'm on medication for it now, but the important thing is that I need to retrain my brain how to flow blood throughout my body, and that's what physical therapy is going to do. It's going to take about 3 months of this intense physical therapy and rehab, but we're hoping that the final result will be that I stop having seizures and that blood will stay in my brain at all times because it needs to. And I'm just really happy and excited that I have a diagnosis and a treatment plan. It's going to be really hard and it's going to take a lot of time, but I'm ready for it, and I'm so happy that I finally found a doctor willing to help me. And if anyone out there has any type of illness, POTS, chronic pain, anything like that, I would suggest that you find a functional chiropractor because they're amazing and they do so much thorough work that, even the smallest things that are off, they want to fix it like that. Your body should be 100%, and when it's not, more things just add on top of each other, and that's what's happened with me. So I'm excited to finally get my life back, and I still may deal with seizures every once in a while because, like I said, POTS is chronic, and if POTS is causing my seizures, then I still may have them. But overall, we're going to get it under control, and that's the main thing that I want. So yeah, there's my little update. I'm sure I left some things out, but it's fine. So thank you guys.